So I decided instead of making a YouTube video that I was gonna go live. I'm gonna wait till people get in here. While I'm waiting, I'm gonna adjust this camera because at first it wasn't in landscape. So we shall see who joins me in this lovely. Oh, hold on, give me a second. I guess this is how I gotta do it. I guess I gotta I don't know if you guys can see me. So we got one person in the room so far. Hey Jenna. I'm waiting. Me gonna wait. Me gonna wait. Me gonna wait. Me gonna wait. Wait. Wow, my eyes are heavy, and the smoke from the sage is not helping at all. Let's see something real quick. Give me a second while we're waiting for people to join. Uh, whew, these dogs, my eyes, the smoke. Give me a second. Hey, we in. Top chat, live chat, all messages are visible. Okay. Hey, KP. Um, hey, she said we in this thing. Okay, so I see three people, one thumbs up. But no, I just invited more people. I guess I can go ahead and start. So I was challenged. Well, let me be honest. I challenged someone to start their YouTube channel, and I'm the type of person I don't ask somebody to do something that I wouldn't do or I'm incapable of doing, which it's like nothing. But anyways, so when I made the challenge, I also challenged myself as well. Like we made a deal. So for quite a long time, like a couple of days, I've been sitting here like, well, what am I going to talk about? I really don't like to share my thoughts like that, I guess. But anyways, so I finally decided just to jump on here and go live. Um, we are going to discuss anything and everything. I can't discuss so much right now because I do plan on coming live more often. I either go live on YouTube or on Instagram. I was live on Instagram the other morning. I'm not going to be doing so much as like tarot card readings and things like that for the simple fact of I'm not trying to have this channel be that. I do readings. I'm kind of new at it, so I'm not, but that's not what I want to do. The reason for being is this: I feel like if you follow tarot, or if you follow, like if you follow any advice pages or whatever, hell, just any social media, because people like to post little memes and stuff about feelings. What ends up happening is it sometimes keeps you trapped in whatever situation that you really want to get out of. So I'm not here for that. I've been a victim of that. I'm not gonna lie. For ooh, I gotta take off my glasses. Sorry. For the last month, well, let me keep it real. All of 2018, I've been struggling with something. The break of a friendship, um, and it was something that hurt me. It bothered me. It bothered the hell out of me. And I think what bothered me even more was after it was all said and done, we decided that hey, we're not going to be friends anymore. I I couldn't release. I kept trying to. Oh, trust me, I wanted to. I was like, oh no, we're gonna release him today. But I just could not release him for nothing. And then I finally came to the realization that the reason why I wasn't able to release him was I was listening to tarot cards and I was asking people for advice. And so he stayed in my mind. He stayed present in my life. Um, and then I wasn't patient with myself. I was so frustrated with me where um, I was like, no, you should be over this by now. It's been 2 weeks, 2 days, a month, whatever. You should be over this. How dare he? He don't know who you are, whatever. But I was not patient with myself. I was not kind to myself. I was still breathing the same energy that I had when everything initially happened. And hell, probably the reason why he decided not to be my friend anymore, because I was mean. I was a cold piece of work. I was angry. So I was still breathing all that. And because I was breathing everything, I couldn't release them at all. So this chat is not going to be all about me. It's going to be about you guys too. Because I feel like there's so many lost people in this world. There's so many people that are stuck in friendships, relationships, hell, even your relationships with your parents or siblings or whatever. And it's not relationships that are growing you. It's not relationships that benefit you. If anything, it keeps you in bondage, and you're doing it out of obligation. You feel obligated to remain in these relationships or whatever. I see a whole lot of things on it on social media. I rarely comment on people's stuff or whatever because I'm not one to judge, and I'm very understanding. But I see so much happening to where it's like people are hurt and people are confused. So I just wanted to share my little spill, my little stuff. I'm just me. So if it resonates with you, wonderful. If it doesn't, great. I pray that you find someone that can resonate with you. But for me, I'm just going to get started with it. I was raised practically Pentecostal. I've known God all my life. My mother was the person who gave me God. But I was always conflicted with religion. I was always conflicted with believing in religion, not God. And I want to stress that as well. It's possible to believe that there's a God and not believe in religion. So let's stress that one. I'm not an atheist. I do believe there is a higher being. I believe there's a God, however you want to put it. But yes, I do believe. But I do not believe in religion. So for years, I've always had this. I've always felt this way. This is not something I just woke up today and was like, "Oh, I don't believe in God." No, sorry. Ooh, I don't believe in religion. No, I've always felt that way. But because my mother was my mother, every time I went around, family events or whatever, I felt the need to always appease her. And oh yeah, we could go to church, and oh, how was Sunday church and Sunday school and Bible study and whatever. And I found myself condemning myself, feeling lost because I was being one way with her just to appease her, just to fit in, I guess you could say, because we do this in friendships too. We do this in relationships as well. We end up getting with someone and changing who we are when we're around them just to make them comfortable. And we don't realize we're making ourselves uncomfortable. And usually we don't recognize this until a breakup or they do something out of character and you're like, what the hell? And I'm gonna say something. This is just my point of view. Just like my situation with my friend earlier that I was talking about. I was not mad at him for doing whatever he did. I was not mad at him for changing and standing in his power and being whoever he wanted to be. Who I was mad at was my own self. I was mad at me. You know why? Because I had did backflips, cartwheels, stretched myself here and there or wherever to appease somebody who really didn't know themselves. So he was lost, and so was I. But when he finally stood up in whatever right that he wanted to stand up in, it lost me too. So I ended up being frustrated. The fact how you're gonna change up on me, you're gonna do this, and the truth of the matter is, he didn't change up on me. He discovered who he was. He um he started to be unapologetic about being him. So I don't feel bad about the friendship ending. If anything, it led me to a bigger purpose of finding who I was and not apologizing for me. Like with my family, I love my family. I do. I don't agree. I don't agree to religion. I don't agree to some of their points of views and how they see things. And like I said, I was for the longest going in and out, and when I'm with them, I'm this person, and when I'm with my friends, I'm that person. And the only people who really was seeing my change ups were my kids. And I had to stop and realize that I was showing my kids how to conform to someone else and not love themselves. I was teaching my kids that they wasn't good enough. That if your G mama is super religious, when you go to her, you make sure that you have that religious undertone so you guys can be accepted, and you guys can feel like she can feel respected and things like that. Respect isn't lies. If you have to lie to someone, do you respect them? Loving someone isn't lying to them either. So if you have to lie to somebody, do you really love them? Do they even know you? Do you even know them? Because when you lie to somebody and you say, "Oh, well, I'm just lying because I are pretending to be something because I want to make them comfortable, whatever," then that means that you do not see that person. You do not think that person is understanding and loving and caring enough to accept you for who you are. And if I was that person, on the other hand, I would be offended by that, because I'm like, I love you irregardless. And then as that other person, I would start to look at and be like, well, what have I done or said to make you feel as if you had to pretend to be around me? And then it will start the path of learning and growing. You got to think about it. Everything starts with an ideal. Whether somebody agrees with you or not, if you bring out the ideal of saying, hey, look, I respect where you're at, but that's not where I am. I respect what you do, but that's just not who I am. That doesn't mean that we couldn't be friends, or I can't be your daughter, or I can't be your son, or whoever. That just means that on this subject we can agree to disagree. That does not mean that I love you any less. That means that I will be authentically myself. And I ask that you authentically be yourself. But in the process of it, we can have a mutual understanding and a mutual respect that we agree to disagree on this particular subject. And if that is the case, do not force me to join conversations or activities and pertain as to whatever the disagreement is. And I will do the same. Simple as that. Um, but most time, like, yeah, like I said, in relationships, we often do this whole, we don't introduce ourselves to that person at all. We introduce that person to the ideal of who they want. That's why, like, when I'm talking to people and they're like, well, what do you want in a man? What kind of men are you attracted to? I don't know. I I don't know. The reason for being is, I don't have a set like or dislike. And I know some people are like, "Well, girl, you gotta have standards. You gotta." I have standards, but my standards are for me. My standards are what I choose and choose not to deal with, or what I choose and choose not to tolerate, or whatever, however you want to put it. My standards are based upon what I want, but that doesn't mean that I want you to change into what I want you to be. I want you to be authentically yourself, because there may be some things about you that I can't stand, I despise, or whatever. But then there may be some things about you that I love, and I want to be around, and I want to and engulf myself in. It's because I want to explore or whatever. So I never tell anybody what I like and what I dislike. What I just tell them is be yourself, and I like chemistry. I'm a chemistry person. I like vibes. I like energy. That's what I like. I don't have a whole list of do's and don'ts. I think standard do's and don'ts are mankind standard do's and don'ts. Don't lie to me. Well, don't you know? I guess cheat. I have my own definition of what cheating is. We can get into that on another live, I guess. But anyways, all right. So I'm not seeing questions, and I'm rambling. So if you want, ask a question, comment, whatever, and I'm here. Eyes is here. I say eyes is here. I try not to go too much in details about the story with my friend because it's still very fresh, very new. I'm not gonna sit here and make it seem like, oh yeah, I'm okay, forget him and blah blah blah. No, the reality, I'm real. I'm gonna be honest. I'm a real person with real feelings. It still hurts. It still bothers me, and it's not so much as a hurt. Tell about cheating, okay? KP, I'll tell about my philosophy on cheating, my thoughts on cheating. You got a confession? Okay, Shay, you can say your confession while I get to the cheating thing. How I view cheating is this. Some people would tell you if he has another conversation with a woman, he's cheating. That's not cheating to me. Cheating to me is being deceptive, is knowingly doing or saying something and keeping the truth away from somebody. So basically, that's cheating that person out of making a decision for themselves. You're now taking all the control and the power, and that's not fair. So that's cheating to me. Cheating to me is not sexual. It's not conversational because there's some people in this world that hey, you can come to them like, hey, listen, she's cute over there. You spoke your truth. I can't judge you. You didn't lie to me. Oh, okay, cool. But to some people, they're like, oh, you cheated on me. You had to. And the reality of it is, just because somebody get in a relationship, really, you got two girlfriends, we're gonna talk about you. Do they know about each other? If they don't know about it, I mean, if they know about each other, you're not cheating. Um, a cheat, a cheater isn't honest. Um, oh, so you're not a cheater. They're accepting it. They went into a situation with open eyes, open mind, and you told them what it was, and they accepted it. Society will tell you you're wrong, but for me, free will. Free will cannot be confined to opinion. It's free will. How did I gain my confidence in my own skin personally, or whatever? Still a work in progress. I don't constantly, I don't have it all the time. But I will say this. Do you introduce them or separate them? Well, I would like to think they know each other. If they know about each other, they should know each other. You guys should be able to. I because this is going to be the issue you're going to come up with. D is this: if they don't meet each other or know each other, and they're fine with okay, over here I have him here, you have him there, whatever. Eventually, they're going to start wondering who you are when you're not with them. Um, and if they're both in influential, I can't even say the word. If they're both big parts of your life, and see, I told you, yeah. Eventually, they're gonna want to meet each other, and sometimes they're low vibrations, and they're gonna want to meet each other just to size up the next one or whatever. And if that's the case, then that's something that you want to step back. They want to step back. Carrie, I'll get to you in a second. It's something that you want to deal with because then that means that you're dealing with two low vibrational people and they're insecure which means they lack the self-confidence within themselves. Maybe that could be why they're accepting the offer of being with you and knowing that you have someone else. You don't know, but I would advise you to let them meet and know who you're with. Even if you was with one person, I'm like, know the person before you join them, because you don't know what you're joining. Anyways, but back to Genesis. It's still something I struggle with. She's asking for myself. I don't have a skincare routine. This is just what God blessed me with. Me, it's the light. I'm glowing. Yeah, it's just ring light. It's the bomb. Anyways, but far as self confidence or whatever, I struggle with it. Even with me getting on YouTube, I didn't want to get on here. Um, I didn't want I didn't want to get on here. I didn't want to do a video. I would constantly say, okay, I'm ready, and then talk myself out of it. You know why? Because I didn't feel like I would be accepted. I didn't want the backlash because I was already somewhat broken myself. Um, but a beautiful thing that I have come across and I have learned to start doing for myself, with myself, by myself, is every morning, because your mind leads everything. Your mind controls everything. So every morning when you wake up, say positive affirmations to yourself. Yeah, I think it was Cat Williams or whatever in one of his stand-ups. He was like, you gotta go in the mirror and tell yourself 5 lines every morning. Well, yeah, it's affirmations, and it was a joke, but it's truth. Look at yourself in the mirror and tell yourself the truth. Tell yourself what you see. Um, if you can't be blessed for anything or happy for anything, if everything just seems like it's going all to left, because trust me, I've had those moments where everything just everybody was getting on my nerves. Everybody was turning against me, blah, blah, blah. And I had to look myself in the mirror and say, you know what? I cannot expect nor accept a friendship until I accept my own friendship. I had to learn to be my own best friend. God, the universe, spirits, whoever you worship, whoever you believe in, oftentimes they pull people away from you for you to deal with you. It's not a cute sight. It's not. Ooh, it's not beautiful. I don't care how much of a person you are that you want to sit by yourself, but you are being pulled to sit by yourself, and you talk to yourself and deal with yourself, because I'm going to do like this. You can't introduce you to nobody if you don't know yourself. You can't be in a relationship with someone if you ain't got a relationship with yourself. You got to build your own ship first before you can come in relationship with somebody else. You can't tell somebody how to drive, how to direct a boat, how to take care of a boat, or anything if you never had a boat yourself. So I suggest dealing with you. But yeah, that's how I'm getting there. I'm still a work in progress. I feel like you never will be 100%. When you sleep, are you dead for a period of time, or no joke? What do you feel? What do you feel? Technically, from my opinion, you're resting, so which means you are in between life. Say what again? About the ship or about yourself? I'm lost. Sorry. Like I go on my rants. I go on my rants. But I will say this: love yourself. You can't be in a ship. Oh yeah, you can't have a friendship, a relationship, or any type of ship unless you have one with yourself. If you have never, let me put it like this: when you came into the world, you came in all by yourself. Over time, you learn things, you're taught things, whatever the case may be. It comes in a point in time. Look at children when they're infants. You feed them, you clothe them, and things like that. As they start to get older, about a year old, you're starting to teach them how to feed themselves, how to become more independent. By the time a child becomes more independent, I'm just going to say the age of 5. By 5 years old, when a child becomes very independent, That's when they start going to school in the US. Some countries is earlier, whatever. But anyway, when a child starts becoming independent, they gain something, something that terrifies society and their parents, and that's free will. They start to have an opinion, they start to have an identity. And oftentimes, as parents or community, society, we stuff them down into what we want them to be, or what we feel is right, and it's based upon opinion. That goes back to what I was saying earlier, trying to fit in, trying to fit somebody else's mold. What works for you won't work for me. I'm telling you this right now, because you're not me, I'm not you. Some things may work, but not everything. Your life path is your life path, is not mine. Anywho, so when you start to develop and know free will, some kids are so, we're parents call it defiance, and they're, oh, you ain't got no respect for me, blah blah blah. No, I'm just not doing everything. I'm not being who you want me to be. I can live with rules and regulations. Um, I Kara, you're on a spiritual trip, and I understand we're going into Sunday, but right now I will have to talk. We'll talk about that on another live. Um, I'm not ignoring you. I definitely will talk about that on another live. That will be too deep in conversation. No, I'm not crying. I just see a little shimmer. Anywho, but basically, it's one of those type of things where love yourself. I can't introduce me to you until I know me. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm hopping on here, and yes, I kind of know my, I kind of sort of know who I am, but I don't know me all the way. I'm still learning me. So there's gonna be things that's gonna change over time. If you decide to join in and continue to follow me and whatever, then you're gonna be like, oh, she's changing. She's different. You'll see it. But as of right now, yeah, I'm to a point where I'm okay with sharing myself with the world, good, bad, or indifferent. I'm okay with speaking, because for the longest time, I was afraid of my own voice, so I wouldn't speak up. I wouldn't talk. When you're told for years that you're not educated enough, or your opinions doesn't make sense, or you have a speech impediment, I couldn't understand you, say it again, you talk too fast, whatever it is, you develop something within yourself where you start to become, you fear your own voice. And for the longest, I feared my own voice, but now I can hear myself speak a little, just a tad. So anything else, sis? Carrie, anything else that's not God and devil? Because I'm not really trying to expose or talk about that right now. Respect. I'm trying to be respectful about that. Like I said, I can talk to you about that later. Um, I'm a fighter. I fight passionately for the things that I believe in. I fight passionately for the things that I feel like um I want and I desire. Yeah. Sorry, it was answer another question. But to be honest with you, as the older I get, more experiences I have, there's not much for me to fight for. I'm starting to learn that regardless if you love somebody, if you want to befriend them or whatever, people have free will. So they have the freedom to have their own opinions. They have the freedom to love however they want to love. They have the freedom to walk the hell away if they want to, whatever. No, it's not wrong to have a free spirit. Actually, I move gravitate towards people who do. But when you have a free spirit, know that because it's different. Because most people, yes, I'm a free thinker, but most people are not going to agree, and you got to be okay and be solid with disagreement. Um, you got to be okay and be solid with. How do you get out of an abusive relationship? Everybody's different, but the basis of that is it comes a point in time where somebody has to learn how to love themselves. Um, I've had a many abusive relationships, be it verbal, be it physical, mental, whatever, emotional. I've been a party to those, but you see, and D, that's society's. Well, if he hitting you, just leave. Sometimes it doesn't because you get involved in relationships when you don't know yourself. We are all um, guilty of that. So I wouldn't, because I've been guilty of it, and I mean, don't get me wrong, I can hang with the best of my, I can fight, but I found myself letting somebody beat me up. Because I loved them more than I loved myself, so I would take their hits and could not hit them. Um, I adored them more than I adored me. I wanted them. I could never see that person hurt. Um, so I tend to not hit back. Um, yeah, but see, that's the thing. Somebody can't come in and control you without you allowing them to control you. Self love is the best love, but it's the most complicated love there is. It's the hardest love to obtain, to be honest with you. Um, it's like self love. People are going to tell you self love is the best love. Boo, get you a love of your life, which is yourself. It's the hardest love to obtain. It's the hardest love to keep. It's the hardest love. Once you get it, it's like, okay, wonderful. But it takes work. And I'm going to tell you this, just because you get self love and you have it and it's wonderful and whatever, guess what? What happens? It drains the hell out of you. You know why? Because you got to deal with you constantly. You constantly got to boost yourself up. You constantly have to do for yourself. You got to love yourself. You got to put yourself first. You got to do this, blah, blah, blah. And that's why so many people don't know what self love is. That's why so many people have a hard time with getting it and keeping it because it's so much easier to go out and have somebody else say they love you and treat you like it's love than to have to do the work your damn self. And it's so much easier to say that you love somebody else and than love yourself because of the fact that when you say that you love somebody else, you can do all this stuff and you're expecting rewards back from it. But if you're only giving it to yourself, the only rewards you reap is the rewards within yourself. And sometimes people want physical rewards. They want to see it within themselves. And that's what it is. So self-love is like the hardest love ever. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to y'all and be like, oh, it's the best love, it's so easy. No, it's not. Because from the day that you come out of your mom and you come into this world, you're told how to love. You're told who to love. You're told how to do it, when to do it. Don't do this, don't do that. And then when you get to a point of free will, you got to learn yourself all over again. You got to learn what you like and what you don't like without somebody else telling you to like it or not. And you are not, you came in this world alone just to be instructed by many. So you got to shut everybody out, and that's hard to do. Hell, when your mom was, you're not technically coming in this world alone because you want to survive without your mom. So you are born into dependency. So if you're born into dependency, how can you love yourself? How do you teach yourself to be dependent? I mean, independent. It's hard. It's retraining your whole thought. It's retraining your whole mindset to become independent and to remain that way. And then when you want to start to invite other people in to love you, then you have to go through the task of saying, hey, wait a minute. We got rules and regulations over here. I treat myself like this. I love myself like this. And this is a love affair that's not going to end just because you come in the building. So just because you come in the building, you can't you can't infiltrate this love that I have for me. That's another thing. That's how a lot of people lose it too. they start to go battle. Well, I really like him, and girl, he does this, blah blah blah, and then they start to battle with those type of things or whatever. But like I said, I'm not gonna give you guys too much because I want to jump on here off and on, and I will have subject matters, and some of these subject matters that I talk about, we will repeat and go more in detail. I just wanted to come in and kind of introduce myself, see how this goes. I do understand late night. People are it's Saturday. People are at the club, bed, watching a movie, doing other things that people do. Um, However, whatever you're doing it with your life, I hope you're doing it and you're being positive, safe, whatever. Um, but I will be jumping back on here at a better time. So if you catch this live video later on, after it goes live, please, please, please subscribe. I'm not playing what you say. Um, please subscribe and look out and hit the bell because I will be going live. Go on my Instagram. I do have a Aquarius 16 Instagram, Aquarius 16 Productions Instagram. Please go there. I'm gonna try to put the link in the bio, or not in the bio, like I'm on Instagram. I'll put the link in the little description area or whatever. Please click on there. Join me there. I also do photography, so you'll see some of my work on there or whatever. But I will be going on live there as well. And discussing things with people that are not here. So, however you want to do it, if you don't want to subscribe here, you want to do Instagram, fine. If you want to do both, wonderful. If you don't want to do either, or if you just want to do this, great. If you don't want to do either, peace and many blessings. And I hope you find somebody that you gel well with. I'm not for everybody. I'm not trying to be. I'm just trying to be me. So, the Aquarius 16 Productions page is on IG. I'm gonna head over there. Yes, okay. I'm grown because I'm really grown. I don't care how you think I look. I am 36 years old, a whole grandmother. I am grown. Anyways, but no, I'm going to go over to IG right now and go live, so you can join me there on my A16 page, Aquarius 16 Productions page. Please don't hesitate to drop in anytime I'm live, ask a question. And I would try to answer it to the best of my abilities. If I don't know the answer right then and there, I have no problem with, once I get offline, researching, because I love, he said 26 top line. Okay, I take 18 spring chicken. Hey, see, y'all about to have me on some. I'm trying to close this down and go on IG, and y'all boosting me up. Anyway, but if I don't know the answer, I'm a knowledge seeker. So I love to look things up, or I will meditate, sage, whatever I gotta do, and find the answer for you. So give me about 10 minutes. And if you're on this live video, you can go over to my IG. I'll be going live. And that one is about to be a turn up. This one was kind of like the introduction for you to kind of meet me. But Instagram, they kind of know me over there. So it's about to go down. Shit's gonna get real. We'll see. I cuss. It's already started to happen. So give me about 10 minutes. Peace and many blessings. And I hope you do subscribe, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.